What's up, guys? This is Frenzy. Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Shifterstorm, castle level 17. So I'll use my knight. I hope I selected my knight. Okay, I did. So already I'm just a little bit concerned that the entrance started going up towards the right-hand side. You're giving a little bit of vision. But let's see if you turn it pretty quickly here. Right, like I see that Zeke, and I'm able to dodge him better than I would be if it was going towards the south. Alright. I mean, this is starting to get a bit better, but I can still see everything in this room before I'm up to it. I'm not sure what I want to actually target down. I think the Scorpio. Just get him out of the way if I can. Alright, so yeah, you really need to change how your dungeon is facing. You want to have it going down towards like the bottom left instead of the top. Or, yeah, the bottom left instead of the top right. More just to keep this, like you can see how the zoom feature is. Like I have more space on the top of my screen above my hero than the space on the bottom of my screen. And that's combined with like the skill bar and everything else, so there's just less vision down there. Alright, this actually could be kind of annoying. I like this room idea though. You have kind of the like slow from the Defendatron combined with all of these pulls. So yeah, that's pretty good. I think it'd be even better if it was going like down. I didn't actually know that the Defendatron shield blocked your lashing flame or whatever. That's interesting. Alright, so I'm gonna kill off the Dr. Skull, or try to. Looks like I won't be able to. Yeah, that's... that slow is crazy. You have him on Resurrect. I'm a little indifferent about that because you only have like 2 units to resurrect beyond the skeletons. I would prefer him on heal probably, just for that circumstance by itself. Like the same applies to this. You only have 2 units to be resurrected besides the 4 skeletons he spawns. So you're kind of like losing a little bit of his effectiveness as a resurrect person. But all in all, I don't really like resurrect anyway. So I think heal, or just scrap him and like throw in a puppeteer that's on heal or something like that would even be better as well. Alright, so again with the vision, like you should be having your dungeon go down towards this way. Because that gives less vision than if you have it going up this way. You know, I can kind of plan out my attack a lot easier this way. That being said, if you can spread out your archers at all as well to stop them from getting AoE'd down, that would help. I mean, I think that's fine, but you really want to have spotters for archers. You don't want to have them just like naked up in the front. And then you just have like a naked Robo-Shieldotron. I think you should have at least something with him. Be that like a Defendatron making it even harder, or maybe a Puppeteer healing him or something like that. Like the game sets it up so that if you use 20 on all of the groups and the max in the boss room, you have like just enough points to use all of them. So, you know, having like half groups here and there isn't really that beneficial. So yeah, you already have the Puppeteer on heal, so I would say removing some of those Dr. Skulls and placing in these instead might be better. That way you can fit more units that actually do damage, because 10 points just for, you know, a support is pretty tough when you're only using when you only have 20-point groups. They're okay in the boss room, but I say almost anywhere else they're kind of overshadowed, I guess. So I don't mind this too much. I think that the only thing that I would change is that make it so that your aggro circle is that where, like, I realize what you're trying to do. What you wanted to do is hide them behind here so that I wouldn't see through that, and then I get in here and then I aggro and I'm like, oh crap, I have a bunch of skeleton warriors. But alternatively, you can make it so that I'm through this and then I aggro them and I have to try to kite back this way if I don't want to get hit by them. And then the boss room. Alright, so, I mean, vision is definitely the most important thing, and it's a dir, so that's fine. I'm not going to comment too much on, you know, the use of a pre-made boss, like I've said before. I would say that these things here make it a lot easier to dodge dir's shots, though. You know, I can go behind it, and I know that I'm not going to get hit, so... I would say move your mind somewhere else if you could. Saying that, I still get hit, but yeah. Alright, so it wasn't too bad. Just the vision and those couple things like on the creature placements, you could probably make it a little bit better. Alright, so we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. And for number 2, we have Meltdown, cast to level 17 as well, so we'll use my knight. Alright. Alright, so Jelly Wall into this. It's like almost a classic Stairmaster setup. Let's see if I can actually avoid it though. It's not a Stairmaster setup. Interesting. Okay. So, let's see how could you actually... Oh my god, I'm attacking so slow. But I'm wondering how you could change this up, because I understand kind of how you're trying to do this. I think probably just moving it a little bit closer, so that you're coming out of this, right? And then you want the Cyclops to charge you to the point where you're like starting to be in this. Even if you push them out of this this goo, as long as it like goes straight, the Zeke is still going to hit their shots. I guess ideally you would only want the Cyclops to like hit you and push you a little bit into it, but you want the stun effect, right? So you want the stun effect, and then you want the Zeke shots to hit. So probably moving the aggro circle close and moving the Cyclops a little bit closer, maybe even the Zeke a little bit closer, would probably get you the effect you want. But basically you want to make it so that I can't do what I did there. I kind of like came in, hold it, and then I even waited around because I was going to dodge the hook inside, so I wasn't going to pull back around the corner. But then I realized it was a Cyclops, so I kind of moved back a little bit more, and I was able to get out of range of it. So you don't want to let him get out of range. Alright. Moving forward, we have a derp that's going to pull through into here. Yeah. Oh, that is such a slow pull. I kind of like the fact that it's like a really slow pull as well. Alright. So that was, I think that was fine. 6 supply in Squidlies. I mean, it didn't do all that much damage to me. Oh, that's... Hold on. I need to think about this, because I haven't seen this used, like, almost ever. Well, these are pretty easy to dodge when I'm not fighting, but as soon as I start fighting, they should be a little bit harder. And then they teleport around. Oh, that's actually pretty annoying for a knight to deal with, I would say. The first thing that I'm going to say about this, if you're going to like stick with trying to use it like this, is spread these out, right? Spread them out into the corners of the room. So that when an archer comes in here, they can't just volley them all. And then the archer still has to like chase them around as well. And I mean, it's a reasonably good time waster and like an okay damage dealer. It's kind of trying to do both at the same time with those type of units. I don't know. Personally, I don't really like them, but maybe they're okay. Alright, and then again we have a pull through the wall here. I'm gonna heal because I feel like I could die. These are really nice long pulls, they're taking a lot of time. Just for the mobs to get here by themselves. I'm a little indifferent about like a heal here. This is one circumstance where I would think like maybe what am I gonna say here? Maybe a, oh my god, he dodged out of it because I was attacking so slow. Maybe a Resurrect would be better, but even then I don't really think a Resurrect would be better. I think, if anything, you should maybe replace the Dr. Skull with a healing 3-point guy, whatever they're called, Puppeteer. And then you're able to put in an extra, you know, Robo Defendatron or something. I just think 10 supply for a Dr. Skull heal isn't quite enough. It's not really justifying the cost, unless it's like in a boss room. It's not terrible though. I mean, it's a decent... It wastes a lot of time because they walk all the way around and stuff, so I mean, it's not bad. But you could do something like take out a 10-point Dr. Skull, add in 2... 10-point Dr. Skull, add in 2 Puppeteers, and add another Defendatron defending the other Puppeteer. So you have 2 defended Puppeteers that are getting 2 AoE, you know, heals off instead of Dr. Skulls, and it probably would be just as effective as the other. But then you do have Enrage on this one, so... And that was with a Jimbo. I think that the Defendatron should be defending the Jimbo. I think you want him to stay alive the longest, and then hope that this guy gets his Enrage off. I think that's probably better. Because Jimbo isn't really that tanky. Alright, so this looks like a pull to me. It's not, though. It's just a lot of charging Cyclops. I don't really like stacked charging Cyclops because they don't do much damage. You know, he's only hitting me. I mean, I'm a little over-leveled, I think. I'm like 2 levels over. But the over-the-head slam, I know you use Cyclopses in a different area of your castle, so I wouldn't say switching it out. But for my castle, I have a ton of Cyclopses, and I use the overhead slam because they do just like more damage in general. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really like stacking these up. I would say like the archer thing that you used before could work the same in this one. Where if you had, you know, archers down here and you had them lined up to go down this hallway, and then you had a Cyclops come in and charge in and then stun them, and then the archers get their shots off. I think that does more damage. Obviously these take a little bit longer to kill though, so I guess it's a trade-off that you can kind of figure out which one you want. Alright, so another one of these. This looks like it's kind of like bugged. I don't know why. There's not much that you can do about it. Randomly, sometimes these things tend to bug out a little bit, and I can get out of the stuff. It's not like sticking to the wall correctly, and that's just random. I have a couple of them do that in my castle as well. I don't know if there's anything that you can do. Maybe if you pick it up and place it back down, like turn it around completely, maybe. I don't know. Other than that, the overall thing that you have going here, I guess the Scorpio is okay. The Hungerbot, do you have a pull? Is that why? You have a, okay, so you have one of these set up. I don't know if this is going to be lined up correctly though. Like, if I'm hugging this wall, I don't think you're ever going to get the pull off to pull me into this trap. I guess that's maybe the purpose of having double pull here. If there's any way you can move this over a couple squares though, it would change things drastically, because then you have like a double chance of getting this pull off. Alright, so let's see what else we have. Okay, so you have kind of another thing here that's set up like that, and this one's a little bit better. The only thing is I hid behind this pole, but if I would have gotten pulled by this Scorpio, I'm guessing I would have been thrown into the boss room or something like that, which is fine. I mean, the battering ram is kind of weird. I would maybe replace it with an archer, or probably an archer. I think that it would just do more damage, and it would fit better. If I were to get pulled by like the Scorpio and then pulled by the Hungerbot way down here, the archer's still going to be shooting all the way down this corridor, whereas the other guy would have to try to catch up. Bad Dog O with a Snottingham. I actually faced a leveled up Snottingham earlier and it almost killed me. But it was like level 26 on my level 24 archer, so... But yeah, he does quite a bit of damage, you can notice. He's hitting me for quite a bit. I kind of like Snottingham. I think he's one of the better pre-made bosses, and he's the first one you get. I like how they changed him with the like acid puke and stuff. He's not too bad, but yeah, like I said, I'm not really going to comment too much on pre-made bosses when people use them, because I think people should be able to use them. Like, eventually I think they'll get balanced and be changed enough. Alright, so not too bad. We'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Okay, and for number 3, we have AzzerUK. I actually attacked him the other day and I stole like 100k gold. So, we'll attack him again. It took me 2 times, I believe, to get through his castle. I didn't die the first time, but it took me a little bit too long. I believe he's the one. I was attacking a lot of random people that day, trying to look for like more intuitive ideas and stuff like that, and see if I could, you know, come up with something. And so far, I haven't really seen anybody using anything that amazing. Alright, so I'm gonna like just kill everything here if I can, because I didn't quite hit it. So you have the pull coming around the corner. I think that's fine with the bad dog. I think that's all fine. It'll probably work a little bit better against knights than archers. And that's not skippable, which is good as well. Yeah, I think it's okay. Alright, and then this sort of setup here. What would I prefer? I think you almost have too much support and not enough damage. Your only real damage here is going to be the Stairmaster, and then you have, I think you had a Puppeteer and a, what do you call these guys? Dampener and Pull. So you have like 3 support guys with one damage dealer. I think maybe getting rid of possible Snotter and this guy and adding another 4-point creature, or if you can even pull together enough for another Stairmaster. Although I don't know if I really like the Stairmasters that much. Maybe an archer, but I even don't like those. Maybe if you have an archer up in this corner, it can shoot down or something. The only reason I really don't like Stairmasters, I guess they come to this entrance and then you have the chance of them pulling you into the eyeballs and the springboard trap, which I kind of like. But the chance of that is pretty low. Like, people should be able to see it coming. They have so much vision up here. So yeah, I'm not sure what you could do with that to make it a little bit better, but I do think you have a little bit too much support and not enough damage for that type of a group. Alright, so that looks like it's just a fake. I do remember this now. There's a couple random fake guys that I was a little confused about. I kind of like this fake, but it's only going to work for you once. You know, you have 2 fakes here, and it's only really going to work the first time, which it worked against me, right? So you basically remember, oh, actually you only have 1 fake. But you remember the first time, I don't know if you got to see the replays or not, but the first time that I went through your dungeon, I waited for the pull that was going to come from those 2 Snotters, and I waited there for a while, and I knew when I finished and it was like, I was under the time by 15 seconds or something like that, I knew I could save time here and there by already knowing your defenses. So that sort of thing is only going to work once, and you kind of have it set up where, I mean, I don't mind it, because you have the Pete Poundmore coming, and maybe if somebody has to pull back. The thing is with Pete Poundmore these days, is archers can DPS him down, and knights kind of have to stay on top of him to kill him, so people aren't really going to be retreating. This is almost one circumstance where I would say Jimbo is okay, but it's still a pretty wide open room. Just because you have this mousetrap, so it's preventing retreats. Like, besides that, this mousetrap isn't really doing anything for you. So you could even change it to something that's a little bit more damage dealing. Maybe a rotating cannon or something. Because I don't think many people are going to have to retreat from the Pete Poundmore, you know? Alright, and with this, I would like to see what... Okay, so he's on heal. I'm not sure exactly like what you're trying to heal here. I don't know. I guess it's probably better against knights than me. But if I just throw down a volley, it should kill almost everything. I guess it's really not. That's a decent time-wasting room, I suppose. But you have 10 points tied up in a Dr. Skull out of a 20-point group, which I always think is not really worth it. And then you have Dampener, and you pretty much have like a full support room, and you're just trying to use it as a time-waster. I mean, it's okay. Maybe there's other things that can time-waste a little bit better, though. I haven't messed around with time wasters this patch all that much. I'm still trying to find like a couple good kill zones that I can use. I do like this Scorpio though, because he's constantly staying on there and pulling you onto the spring trap, or spike trap I mean. So I do like that. And I don't mind the dampener with him. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think this is all good placement. This group I liked quite a bit. Alright, so, I mean, the jelly wall was kind of pointless, but it's fine because it does slow you down a little bit better against knights because I can just roll through it. So the same thing applies here, although this one's a little bit better, right? I do have to kind of retreat through here. The thing is, roll is so good, but... Oh, I actually pulled a double mob, and I don't even know how exactly I did it, so that's good for you. However you set this up, I think it's working pretty well since I pulled a double one and I didn't really even realize it. I may not have been paying attention though. And see, this one is where I like it, right? That guy's healing up quite a bit for this Scorpio. And, you know, you have Dr. Skulls earlier in your castle, so why not just switch it out for one or two of those? You know, you can have one Puppeteer and a Defendatron defending it to give it more hit points for the same price as a Dr. Skull in it. It's 2 units instead of 1, so it's a little bit more effective. You know, I would say that's even better than a Dr. Skull, that combo. If you're already using medics. Okay, this might hurt. Nope. So this isn't quite set up the way you want it because I got away from that pull. So you wanted me to get pulled here and then pulled to there, but I ended up getting away from it. So there's a couple things that you can do to fix that. Like maybe your delays aren't quite going to work out because you have to wait for this guy to actually hit this point before you can start the hook from here, or else he would like throw it too early and he would miss the hook. So the thing that you can do that I've noticed a couple people doing lately is if you can get rid of like one of these Dr. Skulls and one other unit and put in an archer that has his bear trap on it, his bear trap specialization, and get it so that your hero would be pulled through the bear trap, then you'll get an extra stun off of the bear trap, which will give you enough time to pull this guy to him. And it'll also do a reasonable amount of damage as well, like 300 or 350, something like that. But yeah, you definitely want to set that up better because you have like a lot relying on that first pull, it seems. Because you even have like this one, and then you have this group as well. That's going to be pretty easy if you miss that first pull. So you want to set that up right, because you did hit the first pull. I should have probably died to this, because I did make the mistake. So that's going to require a little bit more testing from you, and changing until it's working properly. Alright, dodge the Scorpio hooks, and we continue. That mob group is fine though. I mean, most things with Scorpios you can't really screw up placing in a Scorpio. It's good regardless of how you use it. Alright, I mean fire traps with, like, I'm trying to see what the mob group's gonna be. I think this trap might be, it might not be helping you very much. It's not really synergizing like with the room, I guess. I would think like maybe a silence trap would be better or something like that. I'm actually interested to see how quickly these guys shoot. Yeah, it's not that quick. So I mean, Enrage isn't amazing on Stairmasters. They don't shoot all that much quicker. I do like the heals though. It's keeping them alive, giving them a lot more sustainability. And the dampener is just annoying as well. Although I think I pulled 2 groups there, so I mean, yeah, I think that if you could have a silence bubble somewhere in this range, maybe it would be a little bit better than the fire mines, because the fire mines I'm just going to be dodging as I'm waiting for this, right? You have a timed type thing where if I don't want to pull 2 groups, which I did anyway, but if I don't want to pull 2 groups, I have to wait for this to walk all the way around. So there's no reason for me not to just dodge these mines, and like there's no reason to go through them, you know? I think maybe silence would be better. And then you have a silence here, which is kind of like, there's nothing to fight here after you get through it, you know? So I think this could be changed out for something else, maybe, I don't know, slow mine trap or fire trap if you really wanted to use it. Something to just delay, I guess, because there's nothing really to fight there anymore. A couple fake snouters, that's fine. Alright, another couple fake snouters, I remember those, I believe. Again, they're like one trick ponies, I guess, whereas as soon as you hit the fake snotters once, you're never going to hit them again, so they compete until people can't like reach higher dungeon over and over and over again. It's not really going to be that effective. I'll just throw down a volley. I had a Mega Mutton here as well in one of my builds, and I've switched him out recently for a Scorpio, just because it's such a big room, it's hard to make Mega Muttons work in this room. It's pretty easy to dodge him and stuff. I don't know. I would say consider that. Did you have a Hungerbot with these Stairmasters, or did you just... Because the same thing applies with Stairmasters in this room, right? Their balls are so slow that you have all the time in the world to dodge them. Same as the startup for the Mega Mutt, and you have all the time in the world to dodge them. So you have like a lot of space control, I guess, like space type units where you need to be in a compact space in order to not dodge them and make mistakes. And this room's so big that I just have so much room to maneuver. I don't think people are really going to get hit by them. So, like, in this room, I kind of prefer, you know, like Scorpios and Archers and Hungerbots and stuff like that, where, you know, it's kind of directed attacks that are faster. And also things like, I mean, not Jimbo, I was going to say Jimbo, not Jimbo. Jimbo's better in tight spaces, but, like, even Pete Poundmore's okay. Like, things that get up on top of you are okay. I don't think that should actually pull anything. So another fake. I'm wondering if this is just a 9 supply group, which is kind of weird to me. I don't think this would ever kill anybody, but you could set it up so it does, so I don't understand like why you wouldn't. The only thing is you're giving people vision, which is kind of an awkward spot for you. But if they did get pulled by this and you had an extra couple Stairmasters and then the silence on top of it, this would kill almost anybody. That being said, right now, it's kind of doing half. Like, if I get pulled by this, I'm going to get hit by, at max, like 3 or 4 of those balls, which isn't going to kill me. And then I'm silenced, but it doesn't really matter because I only have 2 mobs on me. But you could be just setting up for this. Like, I can't... Well, see, these things are so weird. Like, if you stand kind of on the outside of them, it'll go away after a while, and I can still stand here and volley, which is kind of weird. But I'm guessing that's a Stairmaster setup. It's a good placement on this, though. Oh, I actually got hit by it. Okay, I like this. I've seen something similar before. And I believe NSTD's castle or something, and I said how much I liked it. I mean, his might have been set up a little bit differently, but this isn't necessarily bad. Like, I just stood at the edge to see what was coming, but a lot of people will just keep running, and then they'll get aggroed, pulled. You'll pull them into here, and then as soon as you hit that, I'm guessing all 3 of these guys will just come down on top of you, and then you have a dampener just for effect. The only issue with this is, and I've kind of wanted to put one in my castle, but I'm a little bit worried about this as well, is if you don't get hit by this, you now have these units all kind of right here, all in a group, prepared for a volley, or, you know, a knight can grab this dampener or grab one of these guys, pull them around the corner, and isolate it. So it makes this entire room a little bit easier for you if you don't get pulled by it. That being said, it's still a pretty good kill zone. So, I mean, for 40 supply, it's a pretty good kill zone. And then 3 Hungerbots, and it looks like quite a bit of healing. So this is like kind of a delay boss room, but at the same time, yeah, it's mostly a delay boss room because you only have the 1 damage dealing right there. So what I want to do, because I can see everything, which I don't think you can really do much about. I mean, yeah, you could have the boss room facing downwards a little bit better, but I'm going to kill off these 2 puppeteers in 1 blow. And then dodge everything else, see if I can get in here and kill off the other one. Alright, then the healing's gone. Pull back out and try to wait for another volley to kill off all of the other little things that are here. Alright, then I've isolated it down to Scorpio and 3 Hungerbots. And then, let's not die. If I can get it down to just a Scorpio, I can start dodging a little bit better. Alright. And then just kill the Scorpio off. So the boss room was fine. I think this will delay a ton of people, and it will be super annoying for knights to deal with, trying to run down all of these little bone puppeteers while getting pulled all over the place and being silenced. That's just absurd for knights to deal with. Archers, I think that it would be even better against archers if you were able to deny vision a little bit better and maybe change something up so that you can have this going towards the south. That being said, even still, it's a pretty good boss room. I mean, it took me a while to get through it. So yeah, all in all, it wasn't too bad. There's a couple changes that I mentioned that might be a little bit better. That being said, this is number 3, so we'll end the video here. Again, if you enjoy what I do, please subscribe, leave a like, and if you want to be a part of Viewer Castles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. You can comment on one of the videos, or you can comment on my castle, leaving your in-game name and possibly your castle level and summoner level. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you next time.